Chinese electric vehicles are giving Kenyans the opportunity to own zero-mileage cars from the factory to driving, and they have lower maintenance costs than fossil fuel cars. For context, $30,000 will give you a brand new NETA V, while the same amount could get you any other second-hand brand that has been used outside Kenya for not less than 8 years. But now, from bus companies to private vehicle owners, the shift to electric vehicles has started in a country whose majority live below the poverty line. This reality has not, however, dampened efforts for companies like Moja EV to partner with Chinese EV manufacturers like NETA and Skyworth to sell vehicles in this market. One of the buyers is Paul Mwai, an EV enthusiast who is a new car owner and who just made the shift despite the challenges with charging infrastructure and also the fact that the car brand is relatively new in Kenya. Welcome, Paul, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. First, what motivated you to buy not just any car, but this Chinese-made car, the NETA V? What advised you to get into this car?
Thank you very much. What made me buy this car? First, in a business, you need to do your calculation. So I compared between the car I was using back then in my business, a Hozon Auto, and this one. To be honest with you, the running cost of this car is cheaper than a Hozon Auto. Yeah, that is what motivated me to buy this car.
And a Hozon Auto is smaller than this car?
Yeah, it's a smaller. It's not comfortable as this. As you can see, the car is comfortable than a Hozon Auto.
Yeah.
Even the customer themselves are happy. Yeah.
It's very executive riding.
It's very executive riding, charging the same amount as Auto. Yeah.
All right. Oh, so you ride in a kind of privilege, extravagance some way, and then you get to enjoy the ride as well.
Yes.
So if you tell a little bit about the fuel costs for your month, how are they like? And in comparing this to the regular vehicles that we are using, if you can say like in a month, how much are you spending on fuel and how much are you spending now?
Okay. We're using Hozon Auto. I'm saying Hozon Auto because it's a smaller engine. I was using 2,500 to 3,000 a day. For 25 days, that is almost 62, 75,000.
That's like $700 per month.
Per month.
On fuel.
On fuel. Using this one, right now I'm charging for free. I thank Kenya Power for that. If I'm charging from home, I'll use like 700 charging.
That's like $70.
Yes.
You know, for a whole day.
For a whole day.
In comparison to maybe like, you know, triple or 4 times that amount.
Yeah.
All right.
It's triple.
Okay. So what are, apart from the savings on fuel, what are the other advantages of owning an EV like this NETA?
Okay. I'll talk about this one. Advantage of owning this car is that you see, using a fuel car, I'll have to change my spark plugs, oil filter, air filter, gearbox CVT. But for this one, it's just a motor, so I'm not using those things. So there is no servicing the engine, no servicing the gearbox. So
as the regular vehicles.
As the regular vehicles. So it is like that one. Again, you see like the weather is sunny.
Yeah.
Right now, I'll pick my customer, I'll put on the AC. My friend, just try to call a normal driver here with an Auto and tell him to put on the AC.
They won't.
They
because
won't.
The consumption.
The consumption will go high.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, Paul is an Uber driver and he was driving an Alto. An Alto, they are very common among, you know, the taxi hailing cabs in Kenya. Yeah. And so you can see that he's very happy about this. There is one thing about the price of this car and people thinking, you know, I cannot move from this you know, fossil fuel car to this because of the cost. How did you address that issue of cost?
You need to do your calculation very well. Using 3,000 or 2,000 a day for fuel, without calculating the cost you will incur servicing the car. Remember that money is going out and is not coming back.
Yeah.
Now in my case, I saw this car cheap because I'll buy this car with the money that I was using to buy fuel and servicing the car, the car. So that is how I did my calculation.
All right. Did you also get like financing from the bank, or did you have to dispose of your other car and then, you know, get this one? Or are you running both of them?
I'm not running both of them. I sold the other car, but you see, even after selling the other car, it couldn't buy this car. So I had to look for the financier. I thank NETA EV because they are providing us with the financiers. Most of the banks are willing to support. Like DTB, I'm using DTB. I am aware they are now in touch with other banks. So that is how I bought this car.
All right. Yeah. So apart from making the savings on fuel and having bought this car, and I know you have spoken about your kind of becoming a campaigner for let us shift to the renewable energy vehicles, whereby you know you can just keep charging.
Yeah.
When you speak with your peers in the Uber or the taxi hailing industry, what is the reception like? Are they saying, you know, I can only afford this or I cannot do this, and yet you are here as an example? So basically the question would be, what is the EV market like here in Kenya for a sector like yours?
Okay, you see, this thing is a new thing, and as you know, people are afraid of shifting to the new things.
Yeah.
So these drivers are happy when they see the car, how it looks like, how comfortable it is. They are happy, but you see, most of them are fearing the cost of the car.
Yeah.
But after calculating very well, you can hear some of them saying that actually the majority, they are saying now this is the car I'm going for. Yeah.
All right. And climate change is a big issue.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, especially for us now. We just came from the heavy rains.
Yes.
And before that we had the drought that had gone on like for years.
Yes.
And so when you were buying this car, were there any environmental considerations that you made that made you, oh, let me just shift to an EV?
Okay. It is like when they were friends. First, I was getting in touch with the NETA EV. So they assured me of the car, that nothing will affect the car. And even they tested the car for me. So I'm very sure nothing will stop me from operating my business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also in aspect of pollution, we know that the petrol cars or the diesel cars, there is the pollution that they emit. So was that one of the considerations that you maybe took and said, let me just buy this so that I pollute less?
Okay, I love my country and I love nature. So this car is saving our environment because it is emission free. So that is one thing that motivated me, because if you look at the way things are right now, we can stay for a long period of time without rain.
Yeah.
It is because of what we are using. The diesel vehicles, the petrol cars, we are destroying our motherland.
Yes.
So that is why I'm advocating for green energy. Yeah.
All right. So as a driver and now as an owner of an electric vehicle, what are the challenges that you can say are faced by EV owners like yourself? I know that charging infrastructure like what we have behind me, which is provided by Kenya's utility, Kenya Power, this is free for now. We don't know for how long it will be free. But apart from this, what are the challenges that you can see as an EV driver, especially in the taxi hailing sector? These are my challenges.
So far, so good. I can say that the challenges are minimal because the car is still new. Under warrant, by the way, this car has a warrant, 8 years battery.
Wow.
And 5 years for motor.
Okay.
So for now, the charges are minimal.
They're minimal.
Yeah. So the other challenge is that this car can drive for 380 kilometers when it is fully charged.
Yes.
So I can drive up to Eldoret. So what the challenge will be, the charging stations there. But you see, with this car, I have no problem because I have a portable charger.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that you can charge at home or wherever you are headed.
Yes.
As long as there is electricity.
As long as there is electricity, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we have heard about that. And what is the range of your battery? We have just spoken about that, which is 360 thereabout kilometers.
384 for this one.
Yeah.
I understand my colleague told me, there is a colleague who bought this car. He told me that his is making 400.
Wow.
So it seems they have improved.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say are the challenges that would make Chinese EVs or EVs less popular among we Kenyans?
The problem is that in Africa, we value Toyotas.
The car in front is always a Toyota. That's by the way they are. Yeah.
So this car being a Chinese, you hear someone saying, will I manage to do my business with a Chinese car?
Yes.
Because everybody knows that if you want to do a business, if you want to drive a car in Africa, it's a Toyota. But I can tell people that this car is good. You don't need to fear. It's just like other cars. Yeah.
I think the concerns for me also would be that if something broke in this car and I needed a spare part, so you're assured that if you needed to replace something, you will get that.
Yeah, I was assured, because you see, one thing with Moja EV, the manager after sale is assuring us of all the parts will be available.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And what are the parts? Because there is no engine, no gearbox.
Yes.
It's just the wheels, brake pans, shocks. Yeah.
The regular
spare
parts that you have to replace.
Yes.
All right. So now, because we have spoken about your previous car, and you said you won't have to go back there. Yeah. So looking forward and having been in this sector, the taxi hailing cab as a driver, and that is how you make your livelihood. So when you look forward, will you ever go back to saying, let me go to a petrol station and fill my car up because I have to go wherever?
I'm not planning to go back there because the comfort I'm getting here is more than what I'm getting there.
Okay.
I can see the value of my money.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is value for money.
Yes. I can see it. So I don't think it's a good idea to go back there. It's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. Kenya aims to have at least 5% of all its vehicles powered by electricity by 2025. And Paul here is leading the way. He said, I am shifting, or I have shifted from fossil fuel cars, and I am not looking back. Thank you so much, Paul, for your time today. I do appreciate, and I look forward to spending more time with you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
In your ride.
Yes.
Renewable energy already powers over 90% of Kenya's electricity needs. Building on these green, Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers are better placed to tap into the African market by building on this energy generation. In addition to NETA Auto, other brands like BYD and Chery have also announced plans to establish vehicle assembly plants in Kenya. For a country whose population is more than 60% youth, job creation through these assemblies could help address the widening poverty gap. Also, Kenya aims to have at least 5% of all its vehicles powered by electricity by 2025. More than 90% of the country's electricity comes from renewable sources such as geothermal, hydro, wind, and solar. And the entry of Chinese EV manufacturers into this market means that Kenya can now supercharge its renewable energy generation ambitions to meet the demand and achieve 100% generation by 2030. And to you, our fans, thank you for watching another edition of CGSP Reports. Did you like this story? Please share your views by commenting below and let's have a conversation. Also, if you are not already a member, please subscribe, like, and share to make this engagement more interesting. By subscribing, you are assured not to miss all the great programming that CGSP produces. And you will be supporting independent reporting, which we all need at this time, where fake news is all over our outlets. Again, thank you for your time and see you again soon. My name is Njenga Hakina, the Africa Climate Editor at China Global South Project.